A1 is dribbling the ball in the backcourt opposite the scorer's table near the division line. B2 establishes legal guarding position while defending A1, who lowers his shoulder and knocks B2 to the floor. A1, a charging foul is ruled on A1. It is the 6th foul of the first period against Team A. How is play resumed? Okay, all right, that's a lot of words, right? We have A1 with a player control foul in this situation. What is the penalty for a player control foul? We report the foul. There are no free throws ever attempted for player control or team control fouls for offensive fouls. So we're going to award a throw-in to the opponent, regardless of whether the fact that there are 6 fouls in this period. So how would play be resumed? So where is this throw-in? Is it adjacent to the offended team's front court or back court here? They're in the back court opposite the scorer's table near the division line. So the foul will be reported. The resulting throw-in for Team B will be a front court throw-in. Starting this year in 2023, front court throw-ins are administered in one of the 4 throw-in spots. So this would be this throw-in, even though the foul was near the division line. Since it results in a front court throw-in, it will be at the 28-foot line opposite the table. Let's see what our correct answer here is. C. Team B is awarded a front court designated spot throw-in at the 28-foot mark opposite the scorer's table. Okay, so these situations, like early in the season, we may struggle with these, right? We can get things right as a crew, right? I want to have like a little 4-down signal to my partner, hey partner, 28-foot line. But that's what we have on that one. So we're successful. Let's move on. Team B's coach is standing and giving instructions to his or her players out of bounds in front of Team B's bench and is 2 steps from the end line. Is this allowed? Well, it sounds like they're in the coaching box. Of course, several years ago, the coaching box was expanded so it now runs from the 28-foot line all the way to the end line. It was done in an effort to allow coaches more ability to communicate with their players, which is one of the reasons why, as a point of emphasis this year, we are focusing on making sure that coaches are in this extremely large and expansive coaching box. Okay, so this coach is, above the end line. They are in their coaching box. This is a legal situation. So our correct answer here is D. There is no penalty. Team B's coach is legally within the 28-foot coaching box. That's where we want them to be, and that's what we're going to do on this one. Let's move on to the next one. Technical fouls include all but which of the following? A non-contact foul by a player when the ball is live. So include all but which. So we're looking for a statement here that is false. A non-contact foul by a player when the ball is live. That would be a technical foul. It is non-contact. You can't rule a personal foul in a non-contact situation. This would be a technical foul. B, a foul by a non-player. We would assume this is a member of the bench personnel, a non-player. That is odd language. Again, odd language. If it is something by bench personnel, hey ref, you suck, right? Okay, that's a T on that non-player on the bench. C, a contact foul when the ball is live. Could a contact foul when the ball is live be ruled a technical foul? This is a trap a lot of officials fall into. They see something that occurs on the court that is excessive or untoward, but if it's a contact foul, it cannot be a technical. It has to be a common foul, an intentional foul, or a flagrant foul. Those are the only options. Personal foul, intentional personal foul, flagrant personal foul, live ball contact. Or D, a contact foul when the ball is dead, except a foul committed by an airborne shooter. Dead ball contact, that rises to the level of a foul would be considered a technical foul. So our answer in this situation is C, a contact foul when the ball is live. Cannot be ruled by rule a technical foul. Okay, next question. Which is true about action on and by cutters? Bump the cutter is an accepted coaching term that is never a foul. B, bump the cutters is a coaching term that results in a technical foul. C, no player, offensive or defensive, can be bumped or displaced off his or her path. Or D, none of the above. Okay, so, coaches want to potentially inhibit freedom of movement by players without the basketball to interrupt the timing of a team running the offense, not allowing them to get where they want to be on the court. Of course, those players are entitled to get where they want to be, and unless a player has established legal guarding position that prevents that, any contact on players. So C is just great language for us to take with us at all times. No player, offensive or defensive, can be bumped or displaced off his or her path. That rises to the level of a foul, if in the official's judgment that is the case. So our correct answer here is C. No player, offensive or defensive, can be bumped or displaced off his or her path. These are great fouls to get early in the game. If teams running an offense where players are running through the lane and the defense is, essentially bumping them off of that path, clean the game up. Put a whistle on it, ref. Come on, next question. B5 is in a marked free throw lane space during A1's free throw attempt. It is a violation if B5 does which of the following prior to A1's releasing the ball? Which of these would be a violation prior to the player releasing the ball? A, breaks the free throw lane line plane with his or her foot, but the foot does not touch the floor. So this is our thrower. If they broke the free throw lane line plane with their foot prior to the release of the ball, that's a good question. Yes, I believe that would be a violation. B, breaks the free throw plane with his or her hand and touches the hand on the floor. That is definitely a violation. C, breaks the free throw lane line plane with his or her foot and touches the foot to the floor. That is as well. So our correct answer here would have to be D, all of the above. A would be a unique scenario, but them's the rules, man. Them's the rules. Which of these pivot foot movements results in a traveling violation? Which of these pivot foot movements? So one of them will be. Yes? Yes. Which one? The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player shoots the ball. Step through Joe. Calling, step through Joe. The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player passes the ball. The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player begins a dribble. Or D, the player catches the ball with both feet on the floor and then uses either foot as the pivot foot. Three of these things are legal. One of them is not. Of course, a pivot foot cannot be lifted and then a dribble commence. So our correct answer here would be C. The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player begins a dribble. This would be a traveling violation by rule. Really critical to understand A and B. Pivot foot being lifted is not traveling. Pivot foot being lifted and returned to the floor is traveling. Pivot foot being lifted and a dribble commencing is traveling. But pivot foot being lifted and shooting the ball, legal. Pivot foot being lifted and passing the ball, legal. Pivot foot being lifted, and it's like the player's like in that off-balance 1 foot position and requests a timeout, legal. Shoots the ball, legal. All those things would be legal, even though they would look extremely funny and everybody in the gym would say, "Ref, that's traveling." It's not. No, it's not. Next question. Which of these results in the loss of coaching box privileges for the head coach for the rest of the game? A technical foul charged to the head coach. That would be a direct technical on the head coach. A technical foul charged to an assistant coach. C, a technical foul charged to Let's move on to our next question. Which of these results in loss of coaching box privileges for the head coach for the rest of the game? A, a technical foul charge to the head coach. B, a technical foul charge to an assistant coach. C, a technical foul charge to any other bench personnel. D, all of the above. Or E, none of the above. Head coaches are responsible for the behavior, their own behavior, and the behavior of bench personnel. If the behavior of bench personnel rises to a level of a technical foul being assessed on the individual who's a member of the bench personnel, or collectively the group as a bench personnel, that is a bench technical foul. A bench technical foul would result in an indirect technical foul to the head coach. They would then lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. So in A, a direct technical foul, they have lost their privilege to stand and coach. B, a technical foul to an assistant would be an indirect on the head coach. They would lose their privilege to stand and coach. A technical foul charged to any other bench personnel, player A25, A32, the trainer, the statistician, anybody who's bench personnel, technical fouls charged to them, that is indirectly the responsibility of the head coach, and they would receive a technical foul as well. So A, B, and C are all, so we would assume here that our answer here is D, all of the above, because all of them are above D. Throwing in the none of the above. Wow. Did I read the question right? Yes. They would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. All right, next question. A1 is awarded 2 free throws. Substitutes A30 and B40 are at the table ready to enter, and Team B is granted a timeout prior to A1's first free throw. When shall A30 and B40 enter the game? Both can enter before the first free throw attempt, given that there was a timeout. B, only B40 can enter, since Team B was granted the timeout. C, after A1's second free throw, if successful, or D, after A1's first free throw. Wording. Both can enter before the first free throw attempt, given there was a timeout. They're actually in the game at the moment that we grant the timeout, right? And start the timeout. They're in the game, right? So, but our correct answer here would have to be A. They both can enter. Obviously, there's no restriction against. They are in the game. Easy peasy. I wish all the questions were this easy. Let's move on. Next question. Team A is wearing green jerseys with silver trim. What color undershirts may be worn by Team A players here in 2023? Can they wear green undershirts, silver undershirts, black undershirts, or either green or black, as long as all teammates are wearing the same color? Of course, this year, 2023, we have a change in the rules that allows teams, visiting team players, to wear black undershirts regardless of the color of their jerseys. So the jerseys could be purple, they could be green, they could be gray, they could be brown, right? The NFHS said, hey, this puts a lot of pressure on teams to find undershirts for unusual colors, so let's just change the rule, right? So they changed the rule, but all team members must wear the same color. So in this instance, they could wear all green, they could wear all black. So our correct answer here would be D, even though A and C are both true as well. Just saying. All right, one more question here. A defensive player is allowed to do which of the following to an opponent setting a screen? What can the defensive player do to that opponent setting a screen? Push the screener to get around? Hold the screener? Reroute a screener? Or D, none of the above, right? All three of those first three sound like illegal action. They cannot push, meaning they cannot displace a screener. They cannot hold the screener, right? Oftentimes a screener would, establish their position, and then once the screen is successful, they want to go somewhere else, roll to the basket. We can't hold the screener. We can't reroute a screener. None of those actions are legal. So our correct answer here would have to be D, none of the above. All right, 10 questions in. Awesome. How's everybody doing? I see Chris Janish is in the chat. He's joined. Chris, are you, what time is it in South Dakota? Are you in class? Do you have it going in the background? What's going on? Thank you, Tom. We got there eventually. I'm glad we got a chance to break out the farmer. The Zooch is here. Excellent. Good to see you. Okay. I have taken a break. Now I will do my eye rubbing, face rubbing, everything rubbing. Yeah. The numbers on Team A's jersey are not centered horizontally on the front of the jersey, but instead are located on the left side on the front of the jersey. What penalty shall be assessed during the game for Team A's jersey? Illegal number or illegal jerseys. What are we going to do? Here's what everybody says. Oh, that's a technical foul. Yeah, that's the easy part. What kind of technical foul is it? That's what we got to know. Of course, we like to stress it's easy to say that's a technical foul, but that's never the correct answer. The correct answer is that is a player technical, team technical, substitute technical, technical on the head coach or bench technical. We have to determine what kind of technical foul it is, because that is going to determine what the enforcement of the penalty is. Yes? So if we have a situation where players have illegal jerseys, rule number one, they are allowed to participate, but there is a penalty. And that penalty is not A, because there is a penalty. B, one technical foul charged to Team A. What percentage of officials are going to give this answer in a game situation? Oh, that's a team technical or an administrative technical. That's our fifth technical. C, one technical for every Team A member that enters the game. Oh, don't do that, ref. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is not correct. Wait a minute. What? Something's missing here. D, no penalty is assessed during the game. Okay. I see where we're going on this question. I see where we're going, and this is part of the problem. So D, no penalty is assessed during the game. The game officials should notify their conference coordinator about the illegalities, and it's up to the conference to deal. 9 times out of 10, this is how it's dealt with. That's the bottom line, right? We learn rules, restrictions about uniforms, but of course this year, uniforms are a point of emphasis. In our recent 5-Play Friday, we had a situation in a state final game that this very situation occurred, and there was no penalty enforced in that game. So our problem here on this question is that our correct answer is going to be B. One technical foul is charged to Team A, but that is not the correct ruling. Illegal uniforms result in a direct technical foul on the head coach. That is the penalty for illegal uniforms, right? So our correct answer here is B, because that's what's listed, but this is part of the problem. It's not a team technical charged to Team A. This is a direct technical foul on the head coach. They lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. So we are assessing let's call it an administrative technical on our test question preparers for giving us this is going to lead officials astray, and they're going to rule incorrectly in these situations as a result. I guarantee you. All right, next question. Team A has the alternating possession arrow to start the second half. Thrower A1 steps over the boundary line and touches the floor inbounds prior to releasing the ball on a throw-in. What is the result? Ooh, good question. Good question. This is, of course, let's look at our answer. Team A receives a throw-in. They violated. It's unlikely that's the answer. B, the alternating possession arrow remains with Team A. Okay, that gives us something to talk about. Team B receives a throw-in and the arrow stays with Team A. Or D, could this possibly be the correct answer? Team A has committed a throw-in violation resulting in the loss of possession and the alternating possession arrow. The alternating possession arrow is switched to Team B, and Team B is awarded a throw-in for Team A's throw-in violation. Since this is no longer an alternating possession throw-in, the arrow remains with Team B following its throw-in. Okay, so this brings up the question, when does a throw-in end? When is the arrow switched, and when does the throw-in end? The arrow is switched after the throw-in ends, right? So we're going to switch here because the throw-in has ended. Why has the throw-in ended? Because it ended in one of 3 ways. The ball was legally touched inbounds. Did that happen? No. The ball was touched out of bounds. No, that did not happen. The throwing team violated. When the throwing team violates, the throw-in has ended. When the throw-in ends, the arrow is switched. Okay? This is what goes on. We have to understand alternating possession arrow. Arrow is switched when the throw-in ends. Simple, straightforward. I can always take that with me onto the basketball court. When does a throw-in end? It ends in one of three ways. I can take that with me onto the basketball court. And we get this right. So in the end, we have the opponent gets the ball for a throw-in. The arrow is switched, and we play the game. Now, a topic of discussion recently is, where's the throw-in? Is this a division line throw-in for their opponent? Or is this a front court throw-in? Since the division line itself is in the back court, would this be a front court? Yeah. That's a topic for another day. But let's move on to our next rules question. Oh, so our correct answer here, the one with all the words, is D. D is our correct answer. And now, let's move on to our next question. With 36.5 seconds left in the last period half, there is an inadvertent whistle for a foul that stops the clock. A21 has reported as a substitute prior to the whistle. A. A21 may enter the game. B. Only Team B may have substitutes enter. C. A21 may not enter the game. Or D. Any substitutes may enter at this time, regardless of if they checked in or not. This is a dead ball situation. So why do we have this question? Like we talked about previously, the CBOA likes to take sort of rules from other rule sets, like NCAA women. In this situation, may have restrictions on players entering due to an inadvertent whistle. But in high school, it's super simple. The ball is dead. Who can substitute? Players who have reported? Yes. Players who then subsequently go to report? Yes. There's no restriction. There's no restriction. When the ball is dead, both teams can substitute liberally. Liberally, they can substitute. So our correct answer here would be A21 may enter the game. Why would it not be D? Well, A21 may enter the game is a correct answer. So I won't dispute that. I don't understand why D wouldn't be the answer here. But ours is not the reason why. Ours is simply to look at the next question. After A1 ends his or her dribble, which of these people or objects may A1 bounce the ball off of and then go recover the ball and legally begin another dribble? All right, so A1 ends their dribble. They have dribbled, they have picked the ball up, they are holding the ball. Who or what can they throw the ball off of and then get the ball back and dribble again? Ooh, it's a good question. Team B's backboard, off of the opponent's backboard, is that would that give them the ability to, I don't know, A2, an official, or none of the above? That's a good choice. This is a good question, right? So understanding the status of objects or individuals on the court. The official in this instance, well, let's look at the backboard. What is the backboard to be considered, right? The opponent's backboard, contacting it with the basketball is to be considered the same as contacting the floor in that situation. So if our player had dribbled in the backcourt, picked up the ball, bounced it off the floor, picked it up and dribbled again, would that be a violation? Yes. Yes, it would, right? An official, if the ball contacts an official, it's considered to have contacted the floor in the spot where the official is standing. If the official is out of bounds, the ball would be out of bounds. If the official is in bounds, it would be similar to the ball contacting the floor where the official is standing. Again, same situation. They've terminated their dribble. They're throwing the ball off of the floor, picking it up and dribbling again. Obvious violation. So our correct answer here is A2. If the ball touches another player, the player can then legally recover the basketball and dribble again. So our correct answer here would be B. If they threw it off of teammate A2, and you might say, hey, man, that sounds like they're getting an unfair advantage. Them's the rules, man. Them's the rules. A1 sets a stationary screen with 1 foot on or outside the boundary line. B1 makes contact with A1 in the torso. Personal foul on A1, personal foul on B1. Well, I like the simplicity. Not many words. Okay, who set the screen? A1 sets the screen. Is the screen legal by rule? Because this player is standing out of bounds. They have out of bounds status because they are contacting the line, the boundary line. They are out of bounds by rule. Screening while out of bounds is a foul. So our correct answer here is personal foul on A1. If we were in the bonus, we would... No. Team control foul. Yes, if we're setting a screen. Well, we would assume. We would assume. All right, next question. A1 and B2 commit fouls against each other during a live ball. A1's foul is an intentional foul. B2's foul is a flagrant foul. How many free throws are awarded and to whom? Wow. Well, this is not something you see every day. This is an unusual scenario. We have two players who are giving each other the business, it sounds like, off ball. Like in a rebounding situation or what have you. But the ruling from the officials is one player an intentional foul and the other a flagrant foul. How many free throws, right? These seem to be not the same, right? But we have a double foul in this situation. As we've discussed previously, double foul, what does that mean in our brain right away? No free throws. Resume point of interruption. Double foul, no free throws, point of interruption. We could take that with us onto the basketball court. Double foul. Is this a double foul? Yes. Double foul. Fouls are ruled against two players at the same time. The gravity of the two fouls is different, but it's a double foul. So if we look at our possible, I pressed the wrong button. What's going to happen? That worked. A, no free throws are awarded. I thought it was all going to go to pot. Yes. So in a double foul situation, which this is, which may be non-intuitive in the moment, right? So obviously we're going to report both fouls, right? It's like it's an intentional foul. We got to do something, right? And it's flagrant foul on one of the players. They would be ejected. Ejected? No. They're disqualified by rules. Players are never ejected. Players are disqualified. And that's what would happen on this play. Double foul, no free throws, resume at the point of interruption. Next question. During pregame warmups, the game officials noticed that A30 has hard plastic beads in her hair. Her hair is wrapped tight with elastic hair ties, keeping the beads tight to the head. A, the beads are illegal. B, the beads are illegal. C, the beads are legal. D, the beads are legal because they are secured tightly to the head as a hair control device and are not subject to any color restrictions, right? So a couple of years ago, rule was changed, allowing hard items to be in the hair as long as they were secured and not loose, right? So big difference between a bead, that's secured and close to the head, and a bead that is on a long piece of hair and is swinging around and could hit somebody in the eye, the face, etc. And obviously if there are multiple. So our correct answer on this question has to be D. The beads are legal because they are secured tightly to the head and as a hair control device are not subject to any color restrictions. Important to know that. Okay, next question. While in the backcourt, A1 dribbles for 8 seconds and passes to A3, who continues to advance the ball to the front court. A3 reaches the division line with 1 foot in the backcourt and 1 foot in the front court as the count reaches 10. I love this the question because the answer A is saved by the bell. Oh, no violation and the game continues. B, as long as Team B requests a timeout before the official blows the whistle, the 10-second violation should be ignored. C, 10-second violation on Team A since 1 foot is still in the backcourt. Or D, a traveling violation should be ruled. Okay, let's review. 10 seconds. National Federation of High School. A team in control in the backcourt has 10 seconds for the ball to gain front court status. That is the simple restriction. 10 seconds for the ball to gain front court status. How does a ball gain front court status? It would gain front court status by being contacted by a player with front court status. It would be if it contacted the floor in the front court. But in this situation, our player who dribbles and terminates their dribble with 1 foot in the backcourt, have they gained front court status? If they are contacting the division line, which is part of the backcourt, or the court, which is in the backcourt, they still have backcourt status. So this team has not accomplished their goal in this instance of gaining front court status before 10 seconds has expired. So we would have a violation on this play. Our correct answer, C, 10-second violation on Team A since 1 foot is still in the backcourt. Yes, since they had not gained front court status. Is a more appropriate answer, but that's the answer we have on this study guide question. All right, moving on. Team A is awarded a throw-in by the alternating possession process. Before the throw-in is completed, B5 is ruled for a foul on A4. It is Team B's 4th team foul, and Team A is awarded a designated spot throw-in nearest the foul. Does the alternating possession arrow change in favor of Team B after the foul is committed? Okay, so we have another situation where we need to know when the throw-in ends. It ends in one of 3 ways. The ball is legally touched in bounds, the ball is touched out of bounds, or the throwing team violates. Has any of these occurred during this alternating possession arrow throw-in, right? The arrow will be switched when the throw-in ends. Has the throw-in ended in this situation? That's what we need to know. So our options here are no, the possession arrow will not be changed. The arrow will still be in Team A's favor. B, yes, the possession arrow will be in favor of Team B. Yes, the possession arrow will change when the throw-in for the foul is completed. No, don't do that. Or D, none of the above. Right? So we have an alternating possession arrow throw-in. We're going to use the possession arrow to determine which team gets the resulting throw-in. When the throw-in ends, we will switch the arrow. In this situation, a foul has occurred and the throw-in has not ended. So, as a result, we will not switch the arrow. We will penalize the foul. That will result in a throw-in to the opponent. But the arrow does not change in this situation. Good question. Like it. Oh, I better... my tech team would not be happy if I didn't display the answer. And the rules reference right here. Next question. A home team photographer is standing 5 feet from the end line along the wall within the free throw lane lines extended. Is this allowed? A photographer, free throw lane lines extended, 5 feet from the court up against the wall. NFHS changed the rules several years ago saying let's not have anybody in this area, right? Because we're going to have players in this area potentially running out of bounds at a high rate of speed. Let's not put cheerleaders, photographers, fans in this area. So our possible answers are yes, they may stand there. No, they may not stand in that area. However, there is no penalty. Of course there's no penalty. Work to have the photographer move to an area outside of the free throw lane line. And of course, we could just replace photographer here with cheerleaders, right? Oftentimes, cheerleaders are on the end line. Sometimes they are unaware that they are not allowed in this area. Sometimes they are undisciplined and get into this area. And we have to basically, encourage them to not be in the area, right? But there is no penalty for this. So let's just stop there. That's got to be our answer. B, no, a photographer may not stand. Work with the photographer to move to an appropriate area. Straightforward. That's what we like here at A Better Official. Straightforward. Straightforward. I could do it. Good question. Oh my God. So we do not, here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area where I officiate, we do not have this situation, but I see it in video where there's bleachers 3 feet from the end line and there's people sitting in the bleachers. It's like, come on, man. That is not what I would call a situation that is safe for anybody. Amazing. Okay, all right. 20 questions in, 50 minutes. Oh, gosh. Are we in for another 2-hour episode? Come on, Greg. Pick up the pace. Any of the following patches may be worn between the base of the front neckline and the shoulder seam of the jersey, except which? Which of these cannot be worn? A, an American flag, B, a state flag, C, a commemorative patch, or D, a memorial patch. Which of these by rule cannot be worn? I believe our rules book would say that a state flag cannot be worn. Never seen that. Of course, so what is the area that we're talking about? Between the base of the front neckline, right? So a jersey is going to have a neckline. And the base of that neckline, everything above that is part of this area that can have this in it. And this area is unique, separate from the torso of the jersey. So this can be a different color. It can have patches. It can have an American flag by rule, a commemorative patch by rule, and a memorial patch by rule. So our correct answer here would be what's not allowed is a state flag. That's what I call minutia. Moving on. When is it permissible for a player who has blood on his or her uniform to remain in the game while blood exists in that uniform? When is that acceptable per NFHS rules? We should know that. It's an easy one. NFHS is very fastidious about blood. Blood is not allowed. You have blood on your jersey, you may not participate until it's rectified. You are directed to leave the game. The coach can request a timeout to keep you in the game if it's rectified by the end of that timeout, but no amount of blood is allowed in NFHS rules. When an official determines the blood has not saturated the uniform, would be incorrect by rule. When medical personnel determine the blood has not saturated the uniform, no, that's not true. We're sort of echoes of other rule sets here. D, never. The uniform has any amount of blood on it. It shall not be worn, or none of the above. Our correct answer is C. It is never allowed. Never allowed. Blood, uniform, not allowed. Blood on player, not allowed. By rule. How we handle it in the game, yeah, but that's the rule. Before A1 releases the ball on the second of 2 free throws, A2 pushes B2. Immediately afterward, A3 steps into the free throw lane. Team B is in the bonus. All of the following are true except which? Oh, good question. This makes me think, wait a minute, didn't I screw this up last year? Let's clearly read the question. Before A1 releases the ball on the second of 2 free throws, They have begun their motion, but before they release the ball, A2 pushes B2 and fouls them. So there's a foul by a teammate of the thrower. Immediately afterward, A3 steps into the free throw lane. Team B is in the bonus. All of the following are true except which? If a teammate of the thrower commits a foul, will that result in free throws for the opponent? No. No, it would not. This would be considered a team control foul, and no free throws would be awarded. Which of the following? All are true except which? A2's push is a team control foul. That's a true statement. A3's violation is ignored. That's a true statement. Why? Because the ball became dead. Since the try was not yet in flight, continuous motion does not apply. The ball became dead prior to them stepping into the lane. A1 shall receive his or her second free throw, right? The free throw ended with the foul. The ball became dead before the try was released. So A1 shall receive the second free throw. A3's violation is ignored, and A2's push is a team control foul. So this year, Greg gets it right, and our correct answer is A. This would not be a true statement. B2 is awarded free throws. Nailed it. All of the following are ruled as correctable errors except which? Which of these would not be ruled a correctable error? Failure to award a merited free throw and permitting a wrong player to attempt a free throw. Erroneously awarding the ball to the wrong team for a throw-in and making a field goal in the wrong basket. C, attempting a free throw at the wrong basket and erroneously counting or canceling a score. Or D, none of the above. All would be ruled as correctable errors except which? Which of these would not be true? Of course, we know that, as B suggests, erroneously awarding the ball to the wrong team for a throw-in is now correctable. Yeah, it is correctable. It may be rectified, but it is not a correctable error by rule. If we erroneously award the ball to the wrong team for a throw-in, we have until the dead ball becomes dead or there is a change of possession to rectify that situation. That's different than a correctable error, which has a different time frame, etc. And obviously, if a team scores a goal in the wrong basket, you're going to have confusion in your game. We may need to be in a high communication mode. We may need to stop play to get things right. But that is not a correctable error by rule. So all of these are correctable except B, erroneously awarding the ball to the wrong team for a throw-in and making a field goal in the wrong basket. Just recognize that this year we may rectify giving the ball to the wrong team, but it is not a correctable error by rule. Great takeaway from this question. Which of the following is true during pregame warm-ups when only Team A is on the floor? So Team B is in their locker room, yet to appear. A, Team A may warm up on either end of the floor. B, Team A may warm up on both ends of the floor. C, Team A may only warm up on Team B's end of the floor prior to Team B entering the court. Or D, which would probably be our correct answer. Neither of those first three are correct. Team A may only warm up on their end of the floor, right? By rule, that's your basket. Go warm up at your basket. This is their basket. Leave it alone, right? Simple, straightforward. Got to be our answer. D, Team A may only warm up on its end of the floor. B3 commits a common foul on A3. It is Team B's fifth foul, but the scorer fails to recognize it, and the ball is awarded to Team A. A quick basket is scored by Team A, and the scorer then sounds the horn to notify the officials of the error. Ooh, correctable error scenario. Now we got to use our thinking cap. And like, are we within the correctable error time frame? Is this covered by correctable error rules and restrictions? A, it is too late to correct the error. Is it? B, alternating possession throw in after the free throws. Yeah. C, play will resume with the result of the bonus free throws awarded to A3. Or D, award A3 2 free throws with no players on the free throw lane and basket counts. Or the goal is scored. The basket counts. Hey, let's count the basket. Well, there's 1 and there's 2. We counted the basket. Ay, ay, ay. Award team B the ball for a throw. I mean, we like to have language discipline. Are we counting baskets? Yeah. Okay. Right. So in this situation, it is potentially a correctable error. We have failed to award merited free throws. This team was awarded 2 merited free throws. A3 should have attempted their merited free throws. We erroneously administered a throw-in. The game has proceeded, and the result is that Team B has scored a basket, and that's when we are notified. Are we within the correctable error time frame? The ball became live. Basketball was played, the ball became dead when the ball went through the basket. When the goal is scored, not when the basket is counted, when the goal is scored, the ball momentarily becomes dead. Has the ball yet become live? If it became live, then our correctable error time frame would end. If the ball has not become live, we are within the correctable error time frame, and we must correct. So what are we going to do? We're going to award A3 their merited free throws. They were due merited free throws. We shall award the merited free throws. But in this situation, we have to recognize, well, how are we going to resume the game after that? Are we going to resume the game with A3 shooting free throws? Right? The team has scored a goal. What's our point of interruption in this situation? Throw in to Team A along the end line. So what we do by rule here is we have A3 attempt their merited free throws and then resume the game at the point of interruption, which is after a scored goal. Team A throw in, the ability to move along the end line. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, crap. I got my A's and my B's mixed up. Team B Team. Maybe I'll redo that one tomorrow. Award Team A3 2 free throws with no players on the free throw lane line, and the basket counts. Award Team B the ball for a throw-in. Team A scored the goal. Team B gets the throw-in. Yes. A1's successful try is in flight when A2 commits a personal foul against B3. Team B is in the bonus. How is play resumed in this situation? A1's successful try for goal is in flight when A2 commits a personal foul against B3. So a teammate of the player who released the try commits a foul against B3, and Team B is in the bonus, and the ball goes in the basket. Oy, 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 what are we going to do? Right? I like our first answer here. A, 1-and-1 free throw attempts to B3. B, 2 free throws to B3. C, designated spot throw in to Team B. Or D, non-designated spot throw in to Team B. Okay, so we have a situation where there is no team control when the foul is committed. The goal is scored, the ball goes through the basket, the ball does not become dead on the foul. The result of the try shall count. We are scoring the goal. We have a foul that is ruled and shall be penalized. A foul by A against B, when the B is in the bonus, will result in bonus free throws. New for 2023, bonus free throws, 2 free throws to the offended player. And that's how we will resume the game here. So our correct answer here is B, 2 free throws to B3. Don't have to overthink this one. But yeah, no more 1-on-1. Long live 1-on-1 bonus free throws. I guess NCAA men is the only rules set that still has 1-and-1. What about FIBA? I don't know. Don't know. While A1's try is in flight, A2 and B2 are called for a double foul. All of the following are true except which? All of these statements are true. Which one is not true? If A1's try is successful, it shall count. Does the double foul while a try is in flight cause the ball to become dead? No. So the result of the try would count. That is a true statement. C, no free throws shall be shot. We have a what? What kind of foul? A double foul? We know a double foul, no free throws, resume at the point of interruption. So C is correct. D, the throw-in shall be on the end line, right? Double foul, report both fouls, no free throws, resume at the point of interruption. What is the point of interruption on this play where A1 releases a try and it goes through the basket and we score the goal? End line throw-in to the opponent, right? So that is correct. We will have the throw-in on the end line. So our incorrect answer must be B. Regardless whether A1's try is successful or not, play is resumed. What? What is the problem here? If the ball goes in, we are scoring the goal, and the resulting throw-in is an end-line throw-in to the opponent, not an alternating possession throw-in. If the try was unsuccessful, why does it say regardless whether A1's try is successful or not? What the hell is going on? Have I made a mistake? Is it possible I've made a mistake? A1's try is in flight. A2 and B2 are called for a double foul while the try is in flight. That does not make the ball dead. This is an incorrect answer. Except which? Well, all I could say is B is listed as the correct answer, and it is not correct. Play is not resumed with an alternating possession throw-in if the try is successful. Well, I hope that gets rectified. Correctable? Yeah. Moving on. Just after the opening tip, it is discovered that 3 Team A starters are wearing different numbers on their jerseys than the numbers indicated in the scorebook. What is the penalty in this situation? We have players with incorrect numbers. What are we going to have to do in this situation? We are going to have to make a correction to the scorebook. When we must make a correction to the scorebook, is there a penalty? Yes. What kind? Oh, that's a technical foul, right? What kind of technical foul? So our possible answers are A, no technical fouls are charged. We have to correct the scorebook. Okay, there's a penalty for that. B, Team A is charged with 3 direct technical fouls. Yeah, go get them. C, all 3 Team A starters are given a technical foul. Personal. Oh, wow. D, Team A is charged with 1 administrative technical foul, and the numbers in the book shall be corrected. That is the simple answer here. We would stop play when it's discovered. We stop play. We make the correction in the scorebook. We assess administrative technical foul. The opponent gets 2 free throws, and any player eligible substitute can attempt those free throws, and then they receive the ball for a throw-in at the division line opposite the table. Administrative tech, and obviously, right, we have changed numbers in the book. Later on, a substitute enters and their number is incorrect and we have to make a change to the book. In that situation, this first administrative technical foul covers all subsequent situations where we must make changes to the book as well. All right. Team A is awarded a designated spot throw-in along the end line. A1 extends his or her arms over the end line such that part of the forearms, hands, and ball are entirely on the inbound side of the boundary line. B2 slaps A1 on the wrist and dislodges the basketball. What do we do in this unique situation? Not something you're going to see every day, but bottom line, what has happened? We have a thrower. They do something unusual by extending the ball through the boundary plane. This makes our brain say, wait a minute, that's a situation. And then the defender, the opponent of the thrower, contacts the thrower. Okay, what's the penalty when a defender contacts the thrower? What is the penalty? Right? Have to know that. That's an intentional foul by rule. But wait a minute, he extended his arms through. Doesn't the defender have to reach through the boundary plane and do that? No. If the defender illegally contacts the thrower, that is an intentional foul by rule. Now, would we offer a delay of game warning in this situation as well? Because isn't when a defender does something, right? We offer a delay of game warning as well when they break the boundary plane and take an illegal action, contacting the thrower or contacting the basketball. Breaking the boundary plane would incur the delay of game warning. But in this instance, it is simply an intentional foul, the penalty for which would be 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball award with no players in marked lane spaces, and the ball to the opponent, or ball to that team rather, at the original spot of the throw-in. So if we look at our answers, no foul, no, it is a foul. A personal foul, no, it's an intentional foul. We know the very common answer C. Stop play immediately and kindly ask A1, would you back up and so we don't have that situation? Or D, in intentional foul, A1 is awarded 2 free throws and Team A will make the ensuing throw-in at the spot of the original throw-in unless what? When would it not be at the spot of the original throw-in? That's a bonus question, right? If it was a front court throw-in, it's along the end line. Well, that implies that it's after a scored goal, but not necessarily. If it was on the end line in their front court as a result of an out-of-bounds violation and it was out by the 3-point line, the resulting throw-in would be at one of the 4 spots. That's all I'm getting at. If it was a front court throw-in, the resulting throw-in would be at one of the 4 spots if it was not already in that situation. Was my brain, what was happening on that question? Alternating possession. Oh no. Oh no. Has my brain malfunctioned? I'm resuming at 81. Oh. Let's see if I can do this elegantly. So our correct answer, which is true except this is not a true statement. Regardless of whether the try is successful or not, play will be resumed with an alternating possession throw-in. If the try was unsuccessful, then we would have a situation where the ball is dead and neither team is awarded the resulting throw-in. We would go to the possession arrow to determine who. If the try is successful, though, that goal would be scored and the team would have an end-line throw-in. So our correct answer, the one which is not true, B, regardless of whether A1's try is successful or not, play is resumed with an alternating possession throw-in. Thanks, Zooch. Oh my God, my brain. My brain. Oy. I wish I had some hot coffee. All right, now let me get back to where I'm supposed to be. Here. I go there. Oh, you bailed me out. That's what you call being a good partner, right there. My brain was hurting, hurting. You're a good partner as well.
Thanks.
All right, what do we have? 20 questions to go. We're 75 minutes in. Okay.
Hot coffee.
Hot coffee. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we have only one thing to do. Let's continue. In which of these scenarios will an overtime period always occur if A1 is assessed a technical foul after the expiration of time to end regulation? Wow. We have to get this situation right. We're assessing a technical foul after the expiration of time, right? Obviously a critical point in the game, potentially. So our correct possible answers are A, when the score is tied, will an overtime period always occur? Game is tied. Players are going to their benches. One of the players, thinking he was fouled on the final attempt, berates the official, unsporting act, and is assessed a, what kind of technical foul would they be assessed in this situation where the period had ended? They would be assessed a bench technical foul, resulting in the indirect technical foul on the head coach, losing their privilege to stand and coach their team. Plus, would we attempt those free throws? When are we going to attempt those free throws? Yikes. So when the score is tied, when Team A is ahead by a point, A1 was assessed the technical foul at the expiration of time. Team A is ahead by 1 point. Would 2 free throws to the opponent potentially change the outcome of the game, either allowing that team to win or send the game to overtime? Yes, it would. So in that scenario, will an overtime period always occur? No, it would not. Oh, I see. C, when Team B is ahead by a point. If Team B was ahead by a point and we assess a technical foul on Team A, we would not attempt those free throws since Team B attempting those free throws would not impact the game. They would win in any event. Or D, none of these scenarios guarantee that an overtime period is played. Okay. Kind of a tricky situation. But if we are tied at the end of regulation, we are going to play overtime. No matter what happens, technical foul against him, fight breaks out, right? Anything, right? If it's tied at the end of regulation, we will play overtime. So our correct answer here, the long way around, is A. When the score is tied, we will play overtime no matter what happens after time has expired and all activity related to the period has expired. In that situation, we will play overtime regardless of number of technical fouls, etc. Tough question. What is the result if the home team does not have a proper red light or red LED lights mounted on the backboard? No, come on, man. This is high school. There is no penalty in this situation. Do we love having red lights on the backboard? Oh, yes. Yes, we do. We love red lights on the backboard. We love the little shot clock above the backboard. That's the ideal scenario for basketball officials. We love scoreboards that both show the number of team fouls. Right? This is perfect. At other levels, there is a penalty for the absence of a red light. But in high school, there is no penalty in this situation. It's a luxury for us mere mortal high school officials. Moving on. A1 has the ball for the first of 2 free throws. While bouncing the ball bounces off A1's foot and rolls away towards the basket. Sad trombone. I don't have my sad trombone. That's horrible. All of the following are true except which? The official shall blow the whistle immediately. A1 cannot go retrieve the basketball. The official shall re-administer the free throw by A1. The result of A1 is a free throw violation on A1. It is a free throw violation on A1. They cannot go retrieve the basketball. The official shall blow their whistle immediately. Our correct answer here, except which? Which of these is not true? That would be the official will not re-administer that free throw. That free throw has ended. When does a free throw end? Well, one of the ways is when the throwing team violates. This thrower has violated. That free throw has ended. Moving on. Which of the following are true regardless of the team's roster and 5 starters prior to the start of the game? If both teams fail to submit their rosters prior to the 10-minute mark before the game, no free throws are shot. B, if both teams fail to submit their rosters prior to the 10-minute mark before the game, each team shall be awarded 2 free throws. C, if both teams change a designated starter prior to the beginning of the game, each team shall be awarded 2 free throws. Or D, both B and C. Is this my favorite test question? No. Super unique situation, definitely minutia, but our job is to know the rules, right? If both teams fail to submit their rosters prior to the 10-minute mark before the game, both teams would be assessed a technical foul. This would be an administrative technical foul for failure to submit the roster prior to the 10-minute mark. It would be considered double administrative technical fouls and no free throws would be attempted, and we'd begin the game with a jump ball. I'm almost certain. Team control does not exist in which of the following situation? Does not exist. Of course, we need to know all about status, and one of the statuses we need to know is team control. When does team control start by rule, and when does team control end? A, during an interrupted dribble. A player is dribbling the basketball. We have team control because a dribbler must have player control. We must have team control on the court. We have team control, and the player has an interrupted dribble. Again, what is an interrupted dribble? It is the momentary loss of control by a dribbler. It is not a situation where the defense deflects the ball, although that would apply as well. An interrupted dribble, there is no change in team control. So team control does exist. While the ball is in flight during a try, when does team control end? Well, one of the ways is when a player releases a try. There is no longer team control. So team control does not exist in which of the following? I think we've found our answer. It does not exist while the ball is in flight during a try. If we look at answer C, when a live ball is being passed among teammates, we know that team control continues in that situation. Our correct answer here, easy one. Easy one. It's about status. We got to know that. Got to know status. Moving on. During the dead ball, immediately following A1's successful try, with 34.5 seconds remaining in the game, the official notices water on the floor and blows the whistle to stop play. Which of the following are true? Again, CBOA with their test questions tries to bring in situations that are rules in other rule sets, right? We're in high school rules here. Only substitutes who had reported prior to the official's whistle may enter the game in this situation where the ball has become dead. Is that a true statement? No. No, it is not. B, only Team B substitutes are allowed to enter the game. C, all substitutes are allowed to enter the game. Or D, no substitutes are allowed to enter the game. The ball is dead. When in high school may substitutes enter the game? When the ball is dead, all substitutes may enter the game. Our correct answer here should be C. It has got to be a correct answer. All right. Which of the following are true? D is not a true statement. The ball has become dead. So our correct answer here is C. All substitutes are allowed to enter the game at this point. Again, high school, ball has become dead due to anything. The ball is dead. Substitutes may enter the game. The correct answer here is C. Moving on. When should an official use a visible count? When should an official use a visible count? The 3-second count? No, I think we're instructed on a 3-second count to count in our head. A free throw count? Yes, we are instructed to have a visible count during a free throw. The 10-second count? How often do we have 10-second violations? Not too often. C, a 30-second timeout? Wow. You're going to wear yourself out, ref, counting down 30-second timeouts, or all of the above. Our correct answer here is B, a free throw count. We are instructed as officials to have a visible count in that situation. Moving on. All of the following are true with regard to the location of a ball in flight, except which? Which of these is not true regarding the location of a ball in flight? Right, a ball in flight. A pass from A1 who is in Team A's backcourt and has passed the ball over the division line and is over the front court is in Team A's backcourt. Okay, so ball location is determined by where the ball last touched the court or where it last touched a player on the court. By rule, that is where the ball is considered to be. So when A1, who's in the backcourt, throws the ball, it's in the air, it's above it goes past the division line, it's in the air above the front court. By rule, where is the basketball? It's still in the backcourt until it changes its status, ball location. So that is a true statement. B, a pass from A1 who is in Team A's front court and has passed over the division line and is over the backcourt is in Team A's front court. By the same logic, that is a true statement as well. C, a pass from A1 who is inbounds that has crossed the boundary lines is inbounds. It will not be inbounds until it is legally touched inbounds. So that is, except that is not a true statement. Or D, a throw-in pass from A1 that has crossed the boundary line. Wait a minute. Oh, C is A, oh, gosh. C, a pass from A1 who is inbounds that has crossed the boundary line is inbounds. Yes, it is not yet out of bounds until it contacts out of bounds. Our incorrect statement here is D. A throw-in pass from A1 that has crossed the boundary line is inbounds. That is not true. By rule, the status of the ball would still be out of bounds, even though maybe there was a length of the court pass. The ball has traveled 83 feet and is over the court. By rule, it is still out of bounds. The status of the ball is still out of bounds. How long does the head coach have to replace a disqualified player? You better know that, ref. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds, right? This interval was reduced previously in a previous year by NFHS. NFHS does not want coaches acting out in this moment. They are given a limited amount of time. That amount of time is 15 seconds by rule. Many coaches think, oh, I've got 20 seconds, I've got 30 seconds, I get my minute or whatever, because coaches don't necessarily know the rules. 15 seconds is the interval. Learning to manage disqualification intervals, really important. We need 2 horns in that situation. You have your timer give you a horn. When the second horn expires, by rule, that substitute would have had to have been made available. So 15 seconds is the correct answer for the disqualification interval. A1 passes the ball to A2, who is running down the court. A2 touches and immediately fumbles the ball in the air and takes several steps while fumbling the ball before finally securing the ball. Which of the following is true? Well, I know in just about every game you work, this is going to be ruled a traveling violation. Mark my words. And if it's not, everybody in the gym knows it should have been a traveling violation. This results in a traveling violation, right? This looks extremely unusual, and it's got to be something, ref. It's got to be something. A1 passes to who A2 is running down the court, and they touch the ball and immediately fumble the ball in the air and take several steps, touching the ball many times. They originally touched it back here at the 28-foot line, and now they're up at the other 28-foot line with the basketball. It's got to be something, ref. Got to be something. Can we travel without holding the basketball? Has this player ever held the basketball or gained player control? No. No, they have not. This will not result in a traveling violation. After they secure the ball, there is no restriction at all on what they can do. They can dribble, they can pass, they can shoot, they can request a timeout. After they secure the basketball, they will have a pivot foot, in the end. Or D, the play is legal and A2 may pivot, dribble, pass, or shoot. Our correct answer here, is D. The play is legal and A2 may pivot, dribble, pass, and shoot, right? Understanding that a player, before they can travel, they must be holding the basketball. Does this player ever hold the basketball? Is this play highly unusual? And the energy in the gym is going to say, ref, you've got to blow your whistle, right? This is a legal play by rule. And I am going to take a moment here to fix something. Be right back. Tremendous. Yeah, I guess we have to all learn them sometime. Good to see you, Brett. Uh, yeah, Tom, on that previous question, man, that goofed me up. Zooch saved me. Well, is that an exception? They are holding the ball. All right. Mine is not to reason why. We are moving on. We have 10 more questions. Can I get done by 9 a.m.? My time. My time. Which of the following combination results in A1 being ejected? Well, by rule, it can be none of these combinations because players do not get ejected. Players are disqualified by rule. Adults are ejected, right? If we have an assistant, I'll get off my soapbox. There's no ejection of players. I understand what you mean. One of our leagues here has an ejection policy, right? But players are disqualified by rule, not ejected. 2 technical fouls are charged to A1 for misconduct or unsporting behavior that would result in player disqualification. B, 1 intentional foul charged to A1 and 1 technical foul charged to A1 for misconduct or unsporting behavior may lead to an ejection at other levels, NCAA women's, but this intentional fouls do not count, other than them being one of the 5 fouls, do not count towards disqualification for a player. 2 intentional fouls are charged to A1, would not at the high school level result in that player being disqualified. So what was the question? Which would result in A1 being disqualified by rule? Our correct answer would be A. If they receive 2 technical fouls using National Federation of High School Basketball rules, they would be disqualified from further participation in the game. A1 has the ball for a throw-in. The throw-in pass deflects off A2 as A2 and B2 are attempting to retrieve the loose ball throw-in pass. The loose throw-in pass. A2 illegally pushes B2 from behind and is ruled for a common foul. Team B is in the bonus. So, thrower releases. Teammate of the thrower deflects the basketball. It is loose on the floor. 2 players go. Opponent of the thrower, teammate of the thrower. Teammate of the thrower displaces the opponent of the thrower, and that team is in the bonus. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. The entire game is going to say, let's go shoot free throws, right? Because of the situation. It's not necessarily obvious what we have here, right? We know that teams are given team control during a throw-in, and that team control only applies for the administration of fouls. So this foul that occurred in this situation should be ruled a team control foul, and therefore no free throws would be shot. Let's take a look at our possible answers. B2 should be ruled for a foul. Wait a minute. A2 pushed B2. B2 will shoot bonus free throws since Team A never possessed the ball in bounds. Sounds logical. A team control foul has been committed. Team B is awarded a throw-in spot closest to where the foul occurred. Maybe. D, there is no foul on the play. Obviously, there's a foul. We will penalize the foul. This is a team control foul. The throw-in spot, though, where we administer the throw-in may be affected by the fact of whether it's a front court throw-in or a backcourt throw-in. Just a little bit of minutia. Just got to remember that if it was result in a front court throw-in to Team B, because A1 was making their throw-in in the backcourt, their backcourt, it would go to one of the 4 spots, right? Anytime a team is awarded a throw-in for anything other than an out-of-bounds violation, and the throw-in would be adjacent to the front court, that throw-in will be at one of 4 spots. Okay, moving on. Whoop. Oh. So our correct answer here is obviously C. Team control foul has been committed, and Team B is awarded a... Oh my God, it's all going to pot. It's all going to hell in a handbasket. In the second half of the game, A6 desires to enter the game but is wearing an illegal undershirt. Which of the following is true? Which of these are true statements regarding a player who seeks to enter the game but they are not legally equipped? A6 may wear the illegal undershirt since the game has already started. No, that's not how it works. B, A6 may wear the illegal undershirt after Team A has assessed a technical foul. We never assess technical fouls related to player equipment, he says confidently. C, A6 may not enter the game while wearing the illegal shirt. When players are illegally equipped, their equipment, the color of their headbands, etc., wearing jewelry, etc., illegally equipped, they may not participate in the game. A player wearing an illegal jersey may participate, but there is a penalty for that. But player with illegal equipment, as an undershirt would be in this instance, may not participate. Or A6 may wear the illegal undershirt if Team B's head coach permits it. By rule, our player is not able to participate while illegally equipped. That's the penalty. There's no technical fouls. If we discover a player is illegally equipped, they are directed to leave the game. They may re-enter the game when they have rectified whatever it is that is illegal. Moving on, 94, all of the following situations when the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in or free thrower, all of the following are situations when the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in or the free thrower, except which? In which of these situations is the ball not yet at the disposal of our thrower in or free thrower? If the ball is handed to the thrower or free thrower, the ball is at their disposal. B, if the ball is released by the administering official when bouncing the ball to the thrower of the free throw. So they've released a bounced ball towards the thrower. Is the ball yet at the disposal of that thrower? No, it's not. Understanding when the ball is at disposal is critical. Why? Because that is when the restart and the restrictions involving the restart start, right? For throw-ins and free throws, ball being at disposal is when the special restrictions that apply to those scenarios start. So we have to know that, right? If we bounce the ball to a thrower, it is not yet at their disposal until they catch the basketball. We bounce the ball to the thrower, they reach for it, they fumble it onto the court. Has the throw-in started? No. The ball is not yet at their disposal. By rule, they have to catch the ball in that situation. C, caught by the thrower or the free thrower after being bounced to him or her. Yes, it is now at their disposal. Or D, placed at a spot on the floor using a resumption of play procedure. That ball is considered by rule to be at the disposal of the thrower or the free thrower. So in this situation, our correct answer is B. It is not yet at the disposal of the thrower when it is released by the administering official when bouncing the ball. While that ball bounces and is in flight, it is not yet at the disposal of our thrower. Moving on. The difference between the penalty administration for an intentional personal foul and a direct technical foul includes which of the following? The difference between the two would include which of the following? Of course, just to review, an intentional foul, 2 free throws to the offended player or their eligible substitute if they were injured, and the ball to the team at the spot of nearest the foul if it was in the backcourt, or one of the 4 spots if it was in the front court. 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball at the spot, right? For a technical foul, the free throws may be attempted by any player or eligible substitute, and the ball will always be inbounded at the division line opposite the table. So those are the differences as we outline. Let's see what the answers to the questions are. A, the player who must shoot the free throws, that is a difference between the two. Must shoot, interesting language. B, the spot where the ball will be thrown in after the free throw, that is a difference between the two. C, whether the foul counts toward the team's bonus. Well, all fouls in high school count toward bonus. Technical fouls of any sort, personal fouls, intentional fouls, all fouls count towards the team's bonus. We add a little asterisk, of course, indirect technical fouls are not fouls. They are just a designation. They would not count towards bonus, right? If we had a bench technical, that would count towards bonus. The indirect is not a team foul by rule. So, what's the answer to the question? Include which of the following? It does include A and it does include B, so our correct answer would be D, both A and B. Ooh, that was the long way around on that question. The long way around. To which team and where is the throw-in that follows a double technical foul that occurs while Team A has control of the ball? What kind of technical? Oh, double technical? Oh, that's helpful. Okay, while Team A has control of the ball. A, Team A at the division line. I suppose that's possible. B, Team A at the point of interruption nearest the spot of the double technical foul. Makes complete sense. C, Team A at the point of interruption nearest the spot where the ball was located. That's definitely in the running. Or D, to the team with the alternating possession arrow nearest the point of interruption at the spot of the double foul. Wow. Okay. All right. Double, common foul. Double intentional, double flagrant, double technical, always. No free throws attempted. Ball at the point of interruption. Let's look at the beginning of the question, or the end of the question, that occurs while Team A has control of the ball. That is our point of interruption. Team A, control. Player on the court. That is our point of interruption. So we would have a throw-in nearest that spot. If it was in the backcourt, it would be nearest the spot where that location was. If it was in the front court, it would be at one of the 4 throw-in spots nearest to where that was. So our correct answer here is C. Team A at the point of interruption nearest the spot where the ball was located. So often as officials, you may have partners in your game, we have an event on the court, and we always think that fouls spot nearest the foul. Foul spot nearest the foul. But in a double foul, double technical situation, we go to the point of interruption. After A1 releases the try on a free throw, but before the ball touches the ring or flange, B2 who was in a marked lane space, enters the lane, then crosses the free throw line and enters the semicircle. B2 does not make contact with A1. What is the result? So an opponent of the thrower, after the release, but before the ball contacts the ring. So we're talking about an interval while the ball is in flight. The B2 legally enters the lane and then crosses the free throw line prior to the ball contacting the ring and does not contact A1. What is the result in this situation? Is this a legal play? Is this a violation? A, no penalty, play on. B, violation on B2. C, technical foul on B2. Or D, personal foul on B2. Can we have a personal foul without contact? No. So it's not D. Technical foul on B2. Is this action by B2 something that rises to the level of a technical foul? No. But this is a violation, right? Or a delayed violation, to be more specific. If the ball goes in the basket, which it does not say, if the ball goes in the basket, we would score that goal and there would be no violation. If the try is unsuccessful, a replacement free throw would be awarded, because this would be a delayed violation on B2. All right, we're getting to the end of this session's questions. A technical foul on a team's athletic trainer, A, also results in the ejection of the head coach. Wow, harsh. Come on, Rev. B, also results in a direct technical foul on the head coach. C, also results in an indirect technical foul on the head coach. Or D, can never be ruled on a team's athletic trainer. Assuming here that our athletic trainer is bench personnel and not in some remote corner of the gym with a training table where they're taping players' ankles, etc., or dealing with injuries. If this trainer is part of bench personnel and a technical foul can and is ruled against them, the head coach, of course, is responsible for the behavior of bench personnel. If bench personnel is assessed a technical foul, that is also an indirect technical foul on the head coach. No reason to overthink this. It does result in an indirect on the head coach. They would lose their privilege to stand and coach their team. It would count towards one of their three towards ejection. Of course, adults are ejected from if the rules stipulate that fact. All right, our penultimate question for this session, number 99. Let's go. When a throw-in is awarded to the wrong team, when is the latest point in which the mistake can be corrected? Yes. The mistake cannot be corrected. B, before the throw-in begins. C, before the throw-in ends. Or D, before the first dead ball after the ball becomes live, unless there is a change of possession. Okay, new in 2023, there have been changes about officials administering a throw-in to the wrong team. Previously, in the far-off times of 2022 and prior, the opportunity to correct would end once the free throw ends. We've given the ball to the wrong team. The arrow was pointing this way. We're giving the ball to the wrong team. We hand them the ball. It's at their disposal. We could still correct. Or this is the old times, remember. We could have still corrected, but once the throw-in ends, the throwing team violates, the ball is touched inbounds, touched out of bounds, we were no longer able to correct. NFHS has fixed that this year, and they say that's punitive, beyond reproach, if we recognize before the first dead ball and unless there is a change of possession, right? So we have a division line throw-in. We're giving the ball to the wrong team. They inbound the ball. It's at the start of a period. Using high school rules, there's 8 minutes on the clock. They throw the ball in. The clock properly starts. Dribble, dribble, pass, dribble, dribble. Everybody, there's energy in the gym. Hey, wait a minute, right? We stop play and we say, wait a minute. We gave the ball to the wrong team. We're going to go back to the original throw-in spot. We're going to fix it. And by rule, understand this, NFHS says If you have definitive knowledge of what the clock was when the ball was erroneously given to the other team for the throw, and you can correct the clock. Yeah. Okay. So we put 8 minutes back on the clock. We go back to the division line and give the ball to the correct team. So our correct answer on this play is D, before the first dead ball and unless there's a change of possession. Right? It's almost always going to be just within the first couple of seconds once we've made the mistake. That's when the energy in the game says, hey, ref, hey, ref, hey, ref. Right? Or our crew says, hey, wait. Right? And previously our hands were tied. We can't fix it. Yeah. So we like that. We like that rules change a lot. All right. How about one more question for this session? Question 100. When is a screener allowed to be moving even though contact may result with the opponent being screened? Well, that's got to be never, right? A screener moving? What? When initially setting the screen on a moving opponent who is moving in a different direction than the screener. B, when initially setting the screen on a stationary opponent who cannot see the screener. C, after initially setting the screener moves in the same direction and path as the opponent and then slows down or stops. Or D, when initially setting the screen on a stationary opponent who can see the screener. Word salad. A lot of words. Our correct answer here is C. After initially setting the screener moves in the same direction and path as the opponent and then slows down or stops. This is allowed by rule. And we're going to leave it at that. We're going to have a lengthy explanation about that play? No. Why? Because we're at the end of the session, right? All right, that's session 2. Of course, we're going to have 4 sessions total. We will have all of these will be available to viewers on our website for viewing. We'll get that up just as soon as possible. But thanks for joining us today. Again, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to just further our understanding of the rules by discussing the variables around these real-world scenarios presented by the study guide questions. Right? Ultimately, we come up with the correct answer. But I hope there's much more to be gleaned from this exercise in that we're just discussing the variables around the rules, how they apply in game situations. What we like to say is what we could take with us onto the court. Simple, declarative, essential things. What is the penalty for an intentional foul? I know that, right? A double foul results in what? I know that, right? Team control starts when? Team control ends when, right? These basic concepts, if we could take those with us onto the court, then when things happen in the game, we're ahead of the game because we have those with us, as we like to say, in our back pocket. All right, thanks for joining us today. Much appreciated, much love, and we'll see you tomorrow or in the next version of the Study Guide Questions. Take care. All right, but we're still here for live stream. Aye. Did I make any mistakes? Oh, I have no way to get back in the chat. I apologize. Oh, no. I use penultimate all the that is not a $5 word. No. I say that is 47-cent word. Penultimate. You got ultimate and penultimate. Come on now. What's the one before penultimate, though? I don't know. I don't know what to make of that comment, Such. Oh. Did you often say hello to him, Billy? I know you. All right. So what I'm going to do is I will have questions ready for tomorrow. The tech team is actually working as we speak, preparing tomorrow's questions. Oh, 92, but Mike set us straight about 92. Well, here's the thing. It's like if you are going to release a test to your group, right? It should be vetted this way, that way, this way, that way, that way, and just vetted by knowledgeable people who say, see that one word there, that should be changed, right? It just tweak it just slightly, right? The vetting process should, just release it to knowledgeable people and say, mark up this text, right? Cross out this word, replace it with this word, etc. We'll then review what you suggest and end up with something that's really, bulletproof. That's what I say. And the other thing we say about test questions is it's really hard to concoct test questions that are valuable, right? We have to test officials' ability to understand the rules, right? And clearly understand the rules and apply the rules. How do we do that? It's not easy. It's not easy to create test questions. And creating these test questions is, I'm sure an incredible labor of, and then this year with so many rules changes, they had to change the previous questions. I'm not saying it's easy, but if we're going to release something to thousands of basketball officials, it should really be